Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode. Here today for round number 8 of the season for the French Grand Prix at the Paul Ricard circuit. The actual race had just happened in real life not too long ago, and this weekend we had the Austrian Grand Prix in real life, so hopefully we'll get into that in the next episode. But if you guys missed any of the episodes so far in this career mode, there's a full playlist link in the top right hand corner of your screen to go watch any of the episodes and get up to speed if you guys have missed any of them up until this point. Before we jump into any further spoilers, now for this episode we are here at France, and you can see nice sunny conditions here this weekend for the French Grand Prix. However, there's some changes to the series. Now first of all, you can see we've got 2 upgrades on the car for the engine and the durability there, more specifically for the gearbox, and that's going to mean that in terms of the R&D performance race between us and Mercedes, we're going to re-overtake them for first place for now, as we brought a little bit of an upgrade package there, and Red Bull as well closed the gap. Now for this race, guys, I was informed, prior to this, that France was a very, very, very OP circuit for the AI. They're very strong around here, and I've done practice and it confirmed it. They were absolutely on steroids around here in this year's game. They've made them really, really quick in this year around France. And recently, up on 108, I did 108 in Spain, Monaco, and also Canada. For this race, after practice, I went down to 106. Because the AI are that damn quick around here, and they're incredibly tough to beat. I failed the qualifying test by over a second. They were just so quick, and yeah, we're just going to go down to 106 for this one, guys, and hopefully we'll go back to 108 for the next race in Austria, depending on how the AI perform around there. But with that being said, let's jump into things here this weekend at Paul Ricard. You can see there we did manage to just about get the track acclimatization and the race strategy program, so those two will be some decent points that we are going to put away for some upgrades very soon. But overall, we're here at Paul Ricard, the new revamped, fresh-looking Paul Ricard in this year's game, with a couple of changes to the circuit, especially turns 1 and 2, the way they've changed the way the track flows, and also the overall visuals of the track, much more improved. And overall, I'm looking forward to getting to work, because it is still a fun track to race on, regardless of whether the AI are OP or not. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we can do a good performance in qualifying to try and step up to the level we need to be at, and try and do well. Recently we've had some pretty okay qualifying performances, so I want to try and keep it up and see if we can try and have that consistency, because at the start of the season, besides Australia, we had Bahrain, China, Azerbaijan. They were all very poor for qualifying, so I'm trying to see if I can improve my overall qualifying performances, and that will hopefully improve our race performance overall on Sunday. So far it's been pretty good when we've done Spain, Monaco and Canada. Let's hope for more here today in Paul Ricard. Now the big question here, the big factor, like the real-life Grand Prix, is tyre drop-off, and in the last race in Canada we had severe tyre drop-off all of a sudden in the race. I'm hoping to avoid that this weekend, and based on our practice it seems a little bit better than Canada, but it could still be a factor in this race. Now for Q1 we went out on the soft compound tyres here, not messing around. We're going to try and get an early banker lap in and get out of trouble nice and early. First of all, sector 1 okay, they're a couple of tenths down on Lewis Hamilton, and now as we go out of the chicane, a bit wider on the exit, but we are going to go through sector 2, and we're going to set an okay middle sector, just a couple of tenths off once again as we now go through senior and into towards sector 3, and the lap is going to come towards the end, and now towards the final corner here. We're going to try and get a little bit of a slipstream from the Alfa Romeo, but he actually pits in, so we're not going to get much of a tow there as we now open up DRS across the start of finish line, and we are going to go P9 there, over a second off the pace. Lost quite a bit of time in sector 3 to Lewis Hamilton, but that lap should be good enough to get us through into Q2 with about 3 minutes to go on the clock. I reckon we should be okay, and indeed it was good enough, as you can see there. Sebastian Vettel P3 on mediums, very good lap from him, as Devon Butler also went through the mediums in Q1, with Lewis Hamilton setting the pace overall in the Mercedes. But now we move into Q2, and I took a roll of the dice and took a gamble, and I'm going to try and go through on the mediums. It's going to be very close here. The AI are very quick, so it has to be a perfect lap. Straight away, 1 and 2, really throwing the car over the curbs there. Let it run wide, focus on your exit speed as we now go down the hill towards the very kind of tricky Mickey Mouse section here towards the end of sector 1 that feeds into the start of sector 2. It's all about keeping the car nice and tidy, keep it nice and tight to the apex, and let it just do the work for you, let the car roll through. And so far an okay first sector, not spectacular by any means, but still okay, as we now go on to the back straight here, opening up the DRS right about now, and using some overtake mode there to try and maximise the straight line speed as we now look for the break point into the chicane here on the back of the Mistral straight, braking just after the 100 metre board, attacking the apex without clipping the curb on the inside, that little bollard, and then on the power nice and smooth there, using the curb as we get a bit of a snappy rear on the exit there, but still a pretty tidy middle sector even with that mistake. And we're a little bit further back now from Hamilton. Actually, we've lost a little bit more ground there, even though it wasn't too bad. Now flat out through senior and now down the hill for this long swooping right. Probably the best corner on the racetrack for me. Really like this corner. It's a long kind of double apex right. We miss apex a little bit, but overall we get a good exit, and now into the probably my worst corner on the track. It's this off-cambered left, which is very understeery and takes forever to get the car rotated. And now on the power briefly on this little back straight, which feeds into the final two corners. First of all, this long left, which kind of tightens up towards the end, and then into the final hairpin here. Very tricky corner this one, using first gear to pick up the rotation and then focusing on your exit speed as we open up DRS and run up to the line. Is the lap good enough? And we are going to go P10 for now. So we're on the bubble here in Q2. Will that lap be good enough on mediums? I guess we'll find out, but unfortunately for us, we are going to have to go back out on the soft compound tyres here, because we're P10 with around 15 seconds to go, and we can get knocked out. Everybody at the minute is on their hot lap, so we're going to have to respond and do a lap. So currently you can see here, getting underway, looking for the run in towards turns 1 and 2 as the session comes to an end right about now. And there you go, checker flag is out. We find some time, but a little bit leery there on the exit. You just saw through turn 2. We kept on pushing on through the lap there. We was actually improving, but luckily for us, we was the last car to cross the line. Nobody else improved, so I actually aborted this lap. As you can see here, I slowed down because nobody else improved, and I'd rather start the race on the medium. So overall, we just about get away with it. Nobody improved somehow. I was very surprised to see that, and we managed to get to Q3 on the medium tyres. Now in Q3, we actually did our best lap on our first run, so let's stay on board for this one then, for a fully flat out lap on the soft compound tyre. Straight away, turn 1, you're going to brake as the tarmac comes to an end here on the right hand side, and then turn in, really focus on the right hander to open up the corner and get a good exit. And that was a pretty nice tidy 1 and 2 as we now go down the hill towards the Mickey Mouse section here, 3 and 4, all about letting the car just kind of rotate in by itself. And then into turn 5, it really tightens up here this year. It really catches you out how tight it is on the exit. We get a bit of a snappy rear on the curb as we go fastest through sector 1. Now on the power, nice and early, could have carried a lot more speed through there, I think, as we go out onto the back straight, using some overtake mode to really maximise the speed in the back straight, opening up the DRS, and now you look for the 100 metre board as your reference. Pull the car over to the right hand side as much as you can, and then throw the car in and try not to touch the bollard on the inside. That was absolutely perfect. Third gear to rotate through the right. Again, it could have taken a little bit more curb on the inside, but a nice clean exit. And so far so good on this lap as we come across the second sector split, and we're only a couple of tenths down here, so far a pretty tidy lap as we now go through senior flat out once again here, and you're looking for the turning point, the 50 metre board as a reference for this long right here, taking it nice and easy. You're focusing on the second right and the exit on the second apex, and then right back down to the apex of the next left, trying to take an early apex this time. We get a bit of mid-corner understeer, kind of missed the apex to be honest overall, but still not too bad. We didn't lose that much time, and now into the final two corners here, really trying to keep it nice and tight for this left-hander if you can. Let the car bring it back in for the second kind of apex, and then into the final corner, really focus on your traction and exit speed as we get the DRS open and across the line, and we're going to go P5 there, so not too bad, a pretty okay banker so far. And I'll take that, to be honest with you, because we've had a pretty tough weekend so far and the pace hasn't been there yet. The AI are very quick around here. I did go back out on a fresh set of softs, and I was improving up until the final few corners, but then I got very scruffy towards the end of my run. You can see that I ran wide at the long left, and then again I managed to get negative and inside my delta again in the final section here, but again I just didn't have the exit speed, and overall it wasn't a better lap. It was a worse lap than my first attempt, a couple of mistakes, and overall we don't improve. So yeah, our first one's going to be the one that we're going to go with, and in the end we actually finished P6 as others improved elsewhere. Sebastian Vettel P3, Mercedes lock out the front row here at Paul Ricard, very similar to the Real Life Grand Prix. Mercedes showing the pace, and Weber and Verstappen splitting both of us in the Ferraris as we get P6, and ultimately the best we could have done. I think there was maybe a 10th in the lap, maybe a 10th and a half at best, but you know what, the AI were just a bit too quick around here, and we did our best to get best of the top 6, if that makes sense, P6. So yeah, hopefully the medium tyre on the race will be the only ones to start on that tyre, so hopefully that can be a wild card and we can try and make something happen on that medium in the race tomorrow. With that being said though, that is it for qualifying. We're now going to move into the race for round number 8 for the French Grand Prix. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. It's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt the feature of many a highlights reel. And let's hope we see more of those in the race today. A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Martinez. That was a solid result in their last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Devon Butler lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Weber, Max Verstappen, Martinez, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Magnussen and Sergio Perez, Stroll, Grosjean, Kimi Raikkonen and Norris, Sainz, Albon, Daniel Kvyat and George Russell, Giovinazzi and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right, here we are on the grid for the French Grand Prix here at Paul Ricard, and we start the race once again on the medium tyres, and we are last of the big players, you could say, in Formula A. And unfortunately for us, again, it doesn't seem to have much pace around here. Similar to Canada, we are struggling around this circuit. I'm doing 106 AI because the AI are incredibly overpowered at this racetrack, so we have to turn it down. In terms of the strategy, though, it's a bit of a weird one. We're going to go for the medium, hard, medium. I don't really have any fresh softs left, I don't think. I'll check it now once I'm in the race. If I find I've got fresh softs left, I'll run softs in the final stint. If I don't have any softs left, then I'll just run mediums again. So we're going to see how we go, and hopefully we can have a good race. And hopefully the pace is there. That's what I'm kind of hoping for, to be honest. And fingers crossed we've got more race pace than qualifying pace. And also, that being said, we're going to make a small tweak to the setup. We're going to increase the front wing by 1. And to be fair, that actually helped me out massively in qualifying. Up until Q2, I was running 7 on the front. I went down to 5 for Q3 and then 4 for my last run. It was a little bit too low on 4, so I'm going to go back up to 5. And that was a good value for me. So we're going to keep it there. Hopefully it works out. Fuel-wise, we're running 1 extra lap more fuel. So let's see how we go. Let's try and have a better race than Canada and try and not finish last of the big players. So let's see how we get on then, and let's jump into it. It's time for round number 8 for the French Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. The 5 red lights come on at the circuit. Paul Ricard. Lights out and away we go. It's quite a long one down to the first corner. We get a fantastic start on the mediums. One of my better starts. And we're in the middle of the pack here, so I'm not really sure where to go into turn 1. We're going to go a little bit wide there. Vettel 3 wide with both of the Red Bulls. The Mercedes break away at the front. We've got a run on Verstappen here. Let's see if we can try and get past, box him in as we go down towards this next right-hander. Very close there, side by side now with Verstappen. We're going to go on the outside of him. Can we pull it off inside for the next corner? Verstappen still holding on there, but we're going to take the inside line this time. Come on, power down. Verstappen still hanging on there, to be fair to his credit. We're going to be wide off the track there, but we are going to just about hold on. Hülkenberg's coming at us in the Renault, but we are going to power past and finally get ahead. Cheers, Jeff. We finally get ahead of Verstappen though and make the move. So there we go. We've got one of the big boys. Lucas Webber's in front of us. Hopefully we can try and chase him down as well. Going to make a few adjustments here. Brake bias up to 56 and the differential down to 85 a little bit just to make sure we control the rear tyre wear. But so far, what a crazy start to this race. That side-by-side sequence of Verstappen was one of the better ones I've had all season long. And Vettel is putting one of the Mercedes under serious pressure here after a poor start. So good to see that he's got good pace at the minute. Let's try and hold on to this position though and try and chase down Lucas Webber and see if we can try and chase him down. So hopefully we've got some pace in these tyres and we're not going to be just sitting duck. Seb is really going for this here as he goes around the outside and makes the move on that Mercedes. I think it's Devon Butler. What a move that was from Sebastian Vettel up into P2. Now hopefully he can chase down Lewis Hamilton and don't let Lewis get away for the sake of the championship. Meanwhile here we're just trying to see if we have any pace, and at the minute we're not too shabby, but Verstappen is quicker than us on those soft tyres, so I'm having to use tyre engine mode to stay in front here on the straight. It's going to be quite tricky to keep the Red Bull behind. I think it's almost inevitable, I'd say. But we'll try and do our best and try and keep him at bay as long as we can. That was close. Verstappen there going down the inside, but I took my usual wide line and we managed to stay in front. Held my breath for a second as well. I thought he was going to still be on the inside when I commit to the apex. 34.0 from Lewis. That's strong pace. Let's see what we're doing. 35.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
That's not going to help me. And Lewis 1.2 quicker than us. And look at that, Devon Butler now under pressure from Lucas Webber here. So he's not finding much pace in that Mercedes. I'm pretty sure he's on the soft. So a bit of encouragement there for us to try and chase him down if we can, because I think we can maybe causing some problems. Okay, so Devon Butler has been passed by Lucas Webber. So at the minute, he's struggling here. We might have an opportunity to get past one of the Mercedes at least. A good middle sector from us there. We set a personal best, very nice chicane. We had a very good exit as well onto the straight. And look at this, these two in front are battling away. This is a good chance for me to get some DRS hopefully and close the gap. Just realised there's a yellow flag further back as well. Early yellow flag for a change. We don't normally have early yellow flags, and it's the McLaren that's slowing down.
Okay, some information on signs. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
So Sainz is out of the race. Will we get a safety car or a VSC? So far seems like we're not getting nothing. Going to try and save some.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
Going to try and save some battery here on the straight. As Butler and Webber do battle again here. Look at that, so close. They're going to have a poor exit. This is a good chance for me to save some ERS and really be efficient with it and close up at the same time. As used to having a great scrap. We know how good our straight line speed is, especially with that reduced front wing that I did in qualifying. It made a big difference. I just struggle with this right hander here. I lose a bit of ground, but if we can just stay within range, we could have a chance here. Dare I say you get past both of them. Verstappen is right on my rear tyre though. Here we go, we're going to crank it up a little bit. Give it some beans. We're gaining. I'm just going to sit back for now as Butler and Webber go side by side. Devon Butler gets back in front. Good exit from us there, very clean traction. We're going to pull to the right hand side, try and power past the Red Bull. We've got the run on Devon Butler here as well. I tried to go on the outside, but that was a rash move. Very rash. I got the momentum at the wrong point, which was annoying. Let's try and stay in front though if we can. And there we go, we're past Lucas Webber on the mediums. Now let's try and get past Devon Butler if we can, see if we've got any pace to maybe actually shake him off. Stay nice and tidy through here, try and stay within range, and then hopefully we'll get the RS on the pit straight. I tend to get relatively good traction out of the final corner onto the main straight, so let's try and get a nice tidy hairpin here. On the power nice and early, there we go. Engine mode's already up to full power. And here we go, we've got the run on Devon Butler here. He's going to go defensive. We're going to get the toe, we're going to go to the outside line. And we get it done, a little bit deep on the brakes there, but we are past. And up into P3, so at the minute we're showing much better race pace than quali pace. Also these tyres are making the difference at the minute. I'm curious to see how strategy pays out, because I think tyre wear is extremely high around here, and I think the AI might have been 3-stop to be honest. It's a very risky track, especially when you're running the softs. You're going to be at a severe disadvantage, so it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Meanwhile, onto the back straight then. We've had an okay exit there, but I think Devon Butler's going to have the legs on me. We'll keep monitoring it and see if we need to turn up the engine. Okay, I'm going to crank her up a little bit. As he's catching up now, he's actually going to go to the inside. But he doesn't quite commit to it. We run a little bit hot on the brakes. Very hot actually. Got that one completely wrong. Going to have to use the engine again here to really pull away. And there we go. That'll do it. Nice bit of traction there, good exit, and that will keep us in front. Hopefully Butler and Webber can do some more. But it's actually Verstappen, I've just realised. Lucas Webber's pit in, I think, so Max Verstappen is now behind Devon Butler, so hopefully those two can do battle. That's an aggressive pairing if I've ever seen one. And we can try and pull away. A little bit wide there. There we go, back onto the apex. Right, so we're P3, that's good. Good progress in this tyre. Let's keep pushing though. Devon Butler pits in, Verstappen stays out. That Renault is holding on as well.
Pit this lap, so push now.
Okay, so the team want to box me in now. Can I one-stop this? I'll check my tyres on the back straight and see what my tyre situation is looking like. 34 on the left rear. I think I could one-stop this. It's going to be close. I'm definitely going to stay at least one more lap. I've got enough tyres for one more lap and I'll think about it. I'll see where my tyres are. Okay, Lewis pits in, as does Verstappen. We're going to stay out. Seb stays out. Hopefully Seb does come in this lap. I don't mind staying out a little bit longer. But at the minute, I can't lie, I fancy the one-stop. Ultimately, it comes down to how much the tyres fall off. In Canada, the fall-off was really dramatic. And also the pace on the hard wasn't that great. But I feel like around here, already it doesn't feel as bad. And I think I can hold on. I'm going purely off of how the AI are managing their soft tyres, so it's a good indicator. So at the minute, I'm leaning towards staying out a little bit wide there, but we won't get any validation for it. I think if we get to lap 11 or 12, we'll be okay. and I've got the tyres for that. My left rear's on 39, my left front's on 41, so I think we can do that. There we go.
Sebastian's in for his stop.
Seb pits in, so that's him doing his stop. A very long first stint from him. Hopefully the fresher tyres will come in handy for him. I'm going to commit to this one stop though. I'm going to go for it because I want to roll the dice. I don't have the pace generally, as we have a big moment there. I don't really have much pace. And you know, I managed to get through Q2 on this tyre, so I might as well, you know, do the main strategy. That's why I did use this tyre to get through in Q2, you know, so I could one stop the race. So we're going to try and roll the dice here. I'm going to pit in lap 11 or maybe lap 10 because I did put a qualifying lap on these, so the hard should get me to the end.
You're in the top 10.
Okay, Lewis gets past Grosjean.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
Okay, Lewis has just got past Grosjean now, so he's back into P2, and the gap is about 11 seconds at the minute. That's a net gap, so we're going to try and manage that. I'm on a better lap here, 7/10 off my personal best after 2 sectors. My last lap was terrible. I was 1.7 off. It was a really poor lap, so I'm trying to refocus here and try and get the maximum out of the tyres before I get off them, and really get my head down here. I reckon we're going to pit in. Oh, I'm really torn, but I'm going to probably pit next lap, lap 10, I think. I really don't think I'm going to make it to. I mean, I could make it to 11, but I'm going to lose too much time. Depends what pace Hamilton has now. He's in free air and he's been released by Grosjean. I'll judge it on this lap. Right, I've had enough of these. I'm losing too much time. Also, I didn't realise my ERS was so low, so I'm having to save up. But this has been a pretty tricky lap so far. No mistakes, it's just no pace in the tyres left. So we're going to pit in and get off these and get on the hards. The tyre drop-off has been a little bit dramatic, I can't lie. I'm a little bit concerned on the hards towards the end of the race, but you know what? We're taking a risk.
Okay, we don't think these tyres have much more to give. They're showing a fair amount of wear, and they're going to start causing you problems.
Yeah, don't worry, mate, I'm on it. Here we go. 2.6. Not the best stop. We did 2.4 in Canada, but still. Right, we're off those tyres. We're going to the end on these now. Tyre wear is very close. It's very marginal, but hopefully, because these are fresh, you know, those mediums were used from qualifying. We'll be better off with these. But here we go, up to speed. There's George Russell in P6.
Okay, you only have to stop once now. One stop left.
Such a risky pit exit. We've got George Russell though, battling with Nico Hulkenberg. Let's try and clear the pair of these, hopefully, and not have any traffic. I'm going to actually sit behind them. It's a good chance for me to save fuel in the ERS for now, as we just watch them, and we'll try and pick them off on the back straight. We'll go for the wide line here. There we go. And now we should have the momentum on the straight to get the pass. DRS open. We're going to get a brilliant toe on the pair of them. Hulkenberg makes a last minute move. I have to go to the inside into the chicane. Side by side with Nico Hulkenberg here. He's on the inside line. We're going to go for it on the outside, and there we go. We get past and in front of the Renault. What a move that was. We had to move last minute. I was going to commit to the right hand side there, and then right at the last knockings, Hulkenberg just completely backed out of that move. Whew. Fantastic overtake. At the minute Hulkenberg's all over me. I'm struggling to shake him off, but that's because I'm trying to save ERS and get it back on target. I'm really low, and I want to try and save out the battery as much as I can. That's mainly the reason why. But we're able to stay in front and get good exits onto the straights. And also, we're matching our personal best, so the pace isn't terrible. Right, personal best into 134s. Starting to pick up the pace a little bit now. Hulkenberg struggling to keep up.
You're catching the car ahead by around 5/10 a lap.
Okay, so we're quicker than Verstappen, that's good. And we're now out of Hulkenberg's DRS, so we're making progress here. And I've managed to get my ERS all charged up in the process, and I've still got a little bit of fuel to work with as well, so we're looking okay here. I've got to try and step up the pace now gradually without killing off my tyres. Oh, Lucas Webber's out. Wow, he had the fast lap of the race up until that point, so he won't be getting that point. And there's a huge stack up at turn 1 and 2. Surely there might be a safety car for that, or some form of VSC maybe. Wow, seems like we're not going to get nothing for it. I mean, that's fine by me because I've already done my pit stop, so I don't want the AI to gain time by serving a pit stop under a safety car or a VSC, but that is very surprising.
Sebastian is in the pits.
Okay, so Seb pits in, as does Lewis Hamilton. So here we go then. This is when it's going to get tasty. They're going to pit in. I should be in front of them still, I think. Let's find out. Onto the pit straight. We match our personal best, and there we go. We are in front still, so that's good news. Vettel's not too far behind Hamilton either, which is good as well. So in theory, we're still the net race leader because we're going to the end. So the gap we have is the one we need to protect. I'm kind of hoping, if I have to pace here today, unlike in Canada, I can try and feed Hamilton into Vettel and maybe try and pinch him in. It also depends where Devon Butler is in amongst all of this.
Quick tyre update for you. Everything's looking nice and tidy on our end. Let us know if you start to feel any issues.
Tyres do feel good, I've got to say. I think we should be okay to get to the end on these. There might be some wear towards the end, but overall they feel nice and consistent, which is what I like in a tyre, as we take a big chunk out of that corner there. And there we go, Verstappen and Butler pit in. So we're going to inherit the race lead here.
We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap.
No, we are not. We're going to the end, mate. Unlike Canada, we're going to make it work this time. I'm going to try my hardest to make it work. Hamilton now back into P2, Vettel back into P3. There's the gap visually. Seb seems to be closing on Lewis, so let's hope that's the case. Ooh, big wobble there.
Let's turn up the ERS deployment and burn some of this energy.
I'm on it, Jeff. Don't worry, mate. I'm saving the battery up in case I need it for an emergency, because we didn't have that battery in Canada. Oh, Seb's made the move. And I can see why. Seb's on the mediums, Lewis is on hards, so that's good for us in terms of Lewis being on the harder tyre. That's good news. It means he won't be as fast, and also Seb has more pace. So at the minute, it's looking good here for us to recover at lost ground in Canada if we bring it home like this. So hopefully Seb has good pace. I'll let him by it. I won't hold up too much because he's going to have much better pace than me. And we'll try and secure our 1-2 if possible. Lewis is keeping up with Seb quite nicely, to be fair. Kind of hoping Sebastian has enough pace in the mediums to get by, and then I can try and let him pull away, and I'll try and hold Lewis up, but he has to catch me first because I'm not slowing down. He currently does have the fast lap, Sebastian, so he does have good pace. He's done it on the last lap, so let's see how we get on. Lewis is out of his DRS as well. Seb's starting to catch me now. He's getting within range. I will not make it hard for him because we need the points. Here we go then. I will make it hard for him. Hopefully he just breezes by it. With DRS, it should be an easy one for him. I'm in lead mix, trying to make it a nice simple pass. And there we go, he's through, job done. Now hopefully I can let him pull away a bit because his mediums will fade towards the end and Lewis will have more pace on the hard. So it's important that Seb opens up the gap, has good pace and tries to pull away. Seb with a 33.1, that's good pace. That's going to definitely solidify the fastest lap for him, which is good news. Lewis isn't all over me yet. He hasn't got as much pace. So at the minute we're holding firm and we've got a good grip of the second place for now. And we're approaching the last final laps of the Grand Prix. There's my current tyre wear, 42 on the left front. This is about the time when the tyres really started to die in the last stint. So
5 laps of fuel remaining.
We'll see how we get on in this stint. But at the minute we're looking okay. Fuel efficiency is pretty good around here as well, so I'm able to keep on to this little bit that I have left. And my battery's pretty damn good charge, so we're looking good here. I think at the minute I'm liking this. I feel confident of holding on to P2 in this race. Okay, Lewis is now within range. He's got DRS on me. The question is, how much pace does he have? And can he try and get past me now? 4 laps to go, including this one. Okay, Lewis is within range here. We're going to have to step it up. He's got DRS, here he comes. We'll turn up the engine, we're going to go defensive. Cover the inside. Show him the long way around. Into the chicane. We're going to take the racing line then, just squeeze him. And we should be okay out of this one. There we go, good exit. Okay, we survived the first attack from Lewis. 3 laps to go. He's going for it this time. We're going to have to hold on. Down the inside. Again, we just hold on there, committing to that inside line and hoping that he's going to back out. 1 lap to go. Right then, last lap. Lewis is closer than ever. I'm really struggling on my tyres now. He's right on me here this time. I'm going to commit to the inside and go defensive early on. Lewis is really getting a nice toe. He's not committing as hard as engine mode though. He's going to go on the outside. This time he's going to keep it there. We're going to have to go on the outside this time. Over to be Holdenberg. We are going to stay in front. I'm going to keep it in rich mix. Come on, come on. Let's try and hold on to this. Just get through this next part. Through senior. There we go, we'll keep it in medium ERS for now, we'll keep it in rich mix for the line. We survived the worst. Good news is though, it's looking like a good result for us as a team. He doesn't assemble down the inside there, so that's good. I think we're good now, I think we're okay. He's not on my rear end out of that corner into this next left, so there we go. Sebastian Vettel's going to win at Paul Ricard. And back on top is Ferrari. What a response from Canada. We're going to come through the final corner though, and we're also going to get a great result of second place on the podium. Grazie ragazzi, grande strategia, grande lavoro.
Can't complain about that one. That was an excellent drive.
Grazie a tutti.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Not a good race for Lucas. How do you think he'll be feeling about not finishing? Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? Appreciate your time.
Right, so Sebastian Vettel scores the win here at the French Grand Prix and also the fastest lap, so he's going to bring home 26 points. We come home P2, 18 points for us, and we had to really work for that, but we pulled through the one stop, made the difference, and what a performance there. Lewis Hamilton P3, Devon Butler P4, Max Verstappen P5, and then Hulkenberg, Stroll, Magnussen, Ricciardo, and Perez rounding out the top 10. And of course, we've got Lucas Webber, who retired from the Grand Prix right at the bottom here. We get confirmation along with Carlos Sainz in the McLaren. In terms of the standings though, after that race, let's have a look. I believe, obviously, Lewis will still lead the Drivers' Championship, but he's now 14 points ahead of Sebastian, 31 ahead of myself, and 46 ahead of Devon Butler. So the top four still very close, and it can swing on literally just a one race difference. You know, one retirement here or there can make a huge difference. And in terms of the constructors, so we re-overtake Mercedes with that 1-2 finish. Good result for us, and we're back in front by 1 point. Such a close season so far, and the Mercedes battle versus Ferrari is it's full on. It's non-stop. Every race it changes, but a really good race for us here today. And if you guys did enjoy that episode of Career Mode, then drop a like on the video and get subscribed for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content, and also turn on notifications to not miss a video from me. Finally, check out these two videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching so much this video, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.